Honey, can we take a moment to talk about this PR box? Reflective, beautiful goddess. I don't know if it's just me, but I personally feel like so many different brands are dropping hot, new products. So I have so many different ideas flowing and going. Today we are going to be talking all about the ABH palette that Jackie Aina created in collaboration with the brand. And I'm in awe. Look at this PR box right here, you guys. Hello. What is up? What is going on? Super cute. When you open it up, we do have the ABH logo, the Jackie Aina logo. I just love how holographic it is. I also love the snake skin print right here. So we're gonna dive in. We are gonna talk all about this palette. As you guys know, ABH palettes, they do retail for $45, and this one is no exception. I'm so proud of Jackie. Huge congratulations to both ABH and Jackie Aina. That is incredible. I feel like this is such a huge accomplishment. Like, Anastasia, what? We see you, boo. I am gonna jump into it. We are gonna do swatches. I'm gonna do a full eye look and let you guys know all the deets. So subscribe if you guys aren't already. Click that little bell and give the video a like if you like it, because it would really mean a lot to me. Without further ado, let's hop right into the video. All right, so I did zoom you guys in a little bit closer. Actually, you guys have been requesting that I zoom in super close whenever I do eyeshadow toot. So since today is primarily focused on an eyeshadow palette, I figured, you know what, let me bring y'all in super up close and personal, okay? This right here is the Jackie Aina palette. This is the unicarton right here, same as the actual palette. Super cute. I love how they designed this. I think it is very much Jackie. I feel like if you go on Jackie's Instagram, you could just see her within this palette because she's so extra, not in a bad way. I really love it. I love her confidence, and I just love all her personality, if you will. So when you open up the palette, this is what you see. You see the brush falling outside of the package, but you also see the mirror. Very, very standard ABH packaging. We have all of the eyeshadows right here. Honestly, the shade that really stands out to me is this one right here. This one is called Sponsored, and I really, really, really want to use this shade all over my lid, but we'll see what I come up with. I feel like my creative wheels are turning. I haven't sat down and filmed an eyeshadow toot in so long. By the way, I do already have my base makeup done because I am filming a foundation review on the brand new Fenty foundation, which will be up this Friday. So be on the lookout for that. It's a 5-day wear test, and y'all don't want to miss out on it. So I'm actually going to throw swatches up on the screen of the palette because I want you guys to see how they swatch. Again, for me personally, I feel like swatches never really mean anything. I feel like you can't truly tell how an eyeshadow is going to perform based on swatches alone. You really need to pack them onto the lid and see how they blend and how they work together, in my personal opinion. So I really love the tones within this palette. A lot of people were saying that it's kind of like a mixture between Soft Glam and also the Norvina palette. I kind of see it, I kind of don't. I definitely feel like she did put some very unique shades within this palette, like Sponsored and Lituation are really pretty. But more importantly, I personally feel like this is going to be an amazing palette for women of color. I feel like she strategically designed these transitional shades right here to work insanely beautiful for women of color, which I'm so incredibly excited about. So I'm actually just going to jump in. I'm going to prime my eyelids with a little bit of the Pro Filter Instant Retouch Concealer by Fenty, just because it's what I have on hand. I don't really have anything on my lid except a little bit of foundation, but I definitely want more of an opaque base for eyeshadow application. So I'm just going to put it all over, then I'm just going to take a sponge and blend it out. Now to start, I definitely want to go in with like a bone colored shadow directly in my crease. This is really just going to act as a really nice layer of shadow before I actually go in with a transitional shade. So I am going to take a little bit of my Marc Jacobs powder. This is the Accomplice powder in the shade 50. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that and just dust it into the crease like so. All right, so now that I have a nice thin layer of that face powder in my crease, I'm gonna start off with, what shade am I gonna start off? I'm gonna start off with Ginger. This is such a beautiful shade. I'm gonna use my Collab blending brush, which reminds me, you guys, we are dropping brand new brushes in the fall. This one isn't new, but we also have some other ones that I think are pretty good. I think you guys are really gonna like them. Again, they aren't gonna launch until the fall. But, ooh, that is pretty. Oh my god, pigmentation, I see you. Also want to know, I haven't done eyeshadow in a hot minute, you guys, so if I'm a little rusty today, please excuse me. But let me just say, there's nothing I enjoy more than blending out a good warm tone brown in my crease. Like, that is stunning. You know what, I'm thinking I'm gonna blow this out just like a little bit more than usual. So I did switch over to an M441 just to kind of pack on this color right here in the outer V. I'm still using the shade Ginger, FYI, you guys. But I'm just packing a little bit more right here in the outer V. And I'm also gonna like drag it out a little bit. Don't worry if the eye shape doesn't look perfect right away. Sometimes I feel like in the process of doing our makeup, we can tend to look really, really crazy, but it always comes together in the end. I feel like eyeshadow is just one of those things that in the process, it never really looks all that good. Let me just say that. The next shade I'm gonna go in with that's literally screaming my name is called Sponsored right here. It's one of those duochrome shades that kind of shifts purple but also green at the same time. I'm going to just stamp this right here in the very inner part of the lid. I also want you guys to know that I'm putting on this eyeshadow completely dry. Do you see how foiled and just like incredible that looks? I'm not cutting my crease or anything because sometimes I feel like you guys get really wrapped up in the fact that I'm cutting my crease and you want something a little bit more simpler. And honestly, you don't really have to cut your crease. It really just depends on the shadows that you use. All you have to do is really just kind of carve it out with your brush. You use some Fix Plus. But in this case, I feel like the eyeshadow is very, very creamy to the point where I don't even have to cut my crease. I can just cut it with the eyeshadow. The next shade I want to go in with is this one right here called Edges. It is a beautiful, beautiful sienna shade. I actually need to grab a little bit more of like a smaller brush. I'm sure you guys probably know which one I'm grabbing. M507. Literally the perfect brush to stick right here in this area. And I'm just gonna concentrate the color and flick it inwards. This is just gonna deepen up the outer V area. This little hair is like on another level. It's kind of annoying, but I definitely feel like I'm getting like Wet n Wild comfort zone vibes. Let me know if I'm the only one. I'm gonna switch over to an M441. Now that I've had the time to place the color, I'm going to just go in small circular motions here to blend. I'm also going to take the brush and kind of tap it in the middle of where that shimmer and matte shade meet just to blend them in a little bit more. I actually want to go in with a little bit more of a deeper shade, so I'm going to take the shade called Credit, which is a very, very dark brown shade, and I'm going to pack it towards the base of the outer V, like where my lash line is, and I'm just going to gently smoke it out. Then with a flat definer brush, I'm really just going to kind of pack that dark brown right here, just to kind of intensify it. Y'all, I'm obsessed. I'm trying not to be as neat with this eyeshadow look just because I feel like very messy eyeshadow looks are in right now with the euphoria being a thing and all. So, like, I want it to be neat, but I'm not gonna, you know, get all crazy if it's not perfect. So I'm not entirely sure if you could tell, but there's like a little space right here. So the shade I'm gonna stick right there is called Lituation, and I am gonna take it on a clean M507. I'm gonna spritz the brush with some Fix Plus just because I do really want it to stick in like one place as opposed to going like once it hits the skin. So I'm just dabbing it right here in that little empty area. I'm actually switching over to like a pencil brush and I'm dabbing it because I felt like with a fluffy brush I wasn't really getting like the control that I wanted. And I'm just gonna blend it right into that shade called Sponsored. Just gonna go right back into an M441 and do a little blenderoo. Alright, so this is me trying to get both sides to look, you know, somewhat the same, but again, I'm kind of just going with the flow considering I don't want this look to be like super perfect or anything. I did do a little bit of this off camera. I took a Sigma E36 blending brush. It's like a really, really small blending brush like this, and I kind of just softened the line right here in the inner corner. So I just took the brush and just kind of like softened it because again, I don't want really any harsh edges with this look. I really want it to be just nice, blended, and effortless, kind of like a color melt, like all colors melting together, if that makes any sense at all. As you can see, there is quite a bit of fallout under here. I am going to clean it up with a makeup wipe and a little bit of concealer, so no big deal. I feel like oftentimes ABH shadow palettes do have a significant amount of fallout, so this is to no surprise. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to clean this up, we'll come back and then start working on the very lower lash line. So I went ahead and cleaned up my lower lash line. Things are looking really, really like beautiful and stunning, and I am all about it, you guys. I do want to go in with another color though. I want to take this shade right here, which is the red in the palette. I want to say it's called Ulises, and I'm going to take it on a flat definer brush, and I'm going to press it right here on the lower lash line. It's actually more like a burgundy, and it's like really pretty. Then with an M507, I'm going to pick up a little bit more of that shade, and I'm going to smoke it out, because why not? Like, look how stunning that shade is. I also want to just smoke it out into the shadow that I put on my upper lid, just so that way everything connects together. Now that I have it smoked out, I'm going to take a little bit more on a flat definer, and I'm just going to kind of tap it to re-intensify the color. Y'all, I love this. And for the inner corner, I'm going to take this shade right here called Trust Issues. It's such a pretty, like, sparkly color, and I'm just going to pop it right in here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put on falsies, do mascara, maybe liner, finish off the rest of the face, and then we'll come back and talk about the completed look, okay? Okay, I'm back. I went ahead and popped on falsies. I just used these by New Balance. They are in the style Bella. They are so dramatic. I haven't worn like a dramatic pair of falsies in a hot minute, so excuse me while I adjust because I am not used to this. I do kind of want to add something a little bit extra to this look because I kind of feel like it's similar to something I've done in the past. So I want to go in with another color from the palette. I'm thinking this one called Doulas right here. Super pretty, right? I want to kind of pop this on the very like center of the lid just to, you know, add a little something extra to the look. So I'm going to just take my finger and pop it right here. The only thing about doing this step right after falsies is that you risk getting some of this eyeshadow in the lash band, which honestly is not cute. So I'm really going to spritz my finger with Fix Plus just so that way I could add, you know, like a little bit of slip to it so that way it doesn't crumble. I feel like that's like really, really different. Like when I close my eyes, it's like, what do you have there? What's going on? You know, as opposed to this, it's just like green. But I don't know. What do you guys think? I honestly don't think I've been this obsessed with the look in a really long time. But anyways, let's actually talk about the lip color I'm going to use today. I think I just want to use like a NYX lip liner of some sort. Yeah, let's actually roll with that. I want to say I used this in one of my previous videos. This is in the shade Soft Spoken. This is a suede matte lip liner. And I'm just going to line my lips and fill them in completely. I kind of feel like I need something a little bit darker, so I'm going to go in with the shade called Los Angeles and do the same thing. And then I'm going to go in with a little bit of 1951, which is a collaboration with I Love City and ColourPop, directly over top. I'm going to do my hair and then we'll come back and kind of regroup, talk about the palette and how I feel. Alright, Slay Bays, this right here is the final and completed look. You see me, I went ahead and just zhuzhed up my hair a little bit. I know I look like half crazy over here, but to be honest, I'm going to Bar Taco. I'm gonna get some tacos, margaritas, chips and salsa with a side of guacamole. It's gonna be a pretty good time if you ask me. But I did want to do like an overall recap on the palette and let you guys know my thoughts. I will definitely say I love the look I came up with using this palette. I really wanted to create a look that was soft and diffused, that didn't really incorporate any harsh lines, because anytime I go in and I do looks, I feel like it's super sharp. Like I cut this area, I cut my crease, and I'm doing all of like these really, really precision techniques that I wanted to do something a little bit different. I feel like all the colors melted beautifully into each other and it's very different and unique. I personally think that this is an awesome collaboration. I think Jackie not only created a palette that was amazing for women of color, but also women like myself. So even if you are fair, light, or medium, I think you are really gonna love this palette because there are a mixture between some very dark colors that you can use like wing liner. You can use this in your crease. You can also create a very fun poppy look with color. So I think the shadows in here are really, really, really beautiful. I feel like you can take this palette from day to night really quick without even thinking about it. So huge congrats to Jackie, huge congrats to ABH. I have nothing bad to say about this palette and I highly, highly recommend it. So those are just my thoughts. If you guys want me to do more looks using this palette, let me know. By giving this video a like, I may do another look on Instagram TV, so make sure you are following me over on Instagram. I love you. I'm gonna go eat some tacos and I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Deuces.